I'm Wayne Sutton.
I'm Melinda Epler. We're the founders of Change Catalyst. We empower inclusive and sustainable innovation globally.
Welcome to this series sponsored by Women Tech Makers, Google's program that provides visibility, community, and resources for women in technology. Together, we're helping tech hubs to develop more inclusive cultures, programs, and spaces.
This video focuses on the internal company culture of a tech hub. Like a co-working space, learning community, accelerator, or corporate innovation center. In order to develop an inclusive culture for your external community of students and startups, you need to make sure your staff and teams who create that space feel included, have the skills, and feel empowered to create an inclusive environment.
Creating an inclusive culture is the key to long-term innovation. Inclusion should start from within the core values of your company and permeate throughout everything you do and every decision you make.
This may mean you need to revisit your team or organizational values. Put together a working committee formed by leadership, your people team, and diversity advocates. If you don't know who your diversity advocates are, put a call out to everyone in the organization and let them know what you're doing, and you'll probably find some volunteers.
Then find a good facilitator who can take you through a design thinking process to adapt your current values so that you can include safety, inclusion, and belonging.
Since you're a tech hub, you may have a member that can facilitate this or know someone who can. Once you have your new values, make sure everyone knows what they are. Put them on your website, incorporate them into the decor of your workplace or classrooms, and make it a part of your brand.
As you begin working to create an inclusive culture at your organization, it's important to have a dialogue with current staff to understand how they feel about the organization. You can do this through a survey, one-to-one interviews, or roundtables.
Make sure you develop a safe, confidential, and transparent environment where people understand why you're asking for their feedback, where their ideas will go, and who they'll be shared with.
In these discussions, let them know you're there to listen to what is working and what is not working so that you can improve the organization culture together. This inclusion survey should ask questions like, why did you choose to work here?
Will you recommend your friends to this hub? And if not, why not?
Do you have suggestions for developing a safer, more inclusive environment?
Do you feel there are opportunities for you to learn and grow here?
Additionally, you want to ask your current diverse community how they would like to be involved in making it a more inclusive hub. The key is not to make underrepresented people responsible for diversity programs, because we all have a role in play in solving this, but to invite them to be a part of the change if they'd like to.
Once you have some core recommendations, develop an action plan to begin addressing the needs you've heard. And at the same time, your organization has an opportunity to correct the effect of any past biases in titles and promotions. Plus, equal pay and benefits for hubs that have paid roles. So conduct an audit of these across all jobs and correct them as soon as possible.
We have included some resources in the links below to learn more. It is important for tech hubs to map out recruitment process to identify potential barriers for underrepresented candidates, whether they be recruiting staff, membership, or leadership.
Depending on your hiring and recruitment process, there may be areas that prohibit qualified candidates from accepting a hiring offer or even considering to apply. Things to think about here include, is the recruiting portion of your website and other marketing materials presenting an inclusive environment? From the photos to the language and the values stated for your company, and is your website accessible?
Are you sourcing candidates from diverse schools and backgrounds?
Does your interview process help candidates from all backgrounds feel like they belong at your company?
Does your hiring process show candidates that their needs are valued? For instance, are you allowing them to schedule interviews at the beginning or the end of the workday? Is your hiring process lengthy or drawn out or efficient?
Do you offer benefits at your tech hub? And if so, are they supportive of all people of every gender, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, ability, veteran status, etc.?
Once you establish these opportunities for improvement, work together with your hiring team to co-create solutions. Invest in your people and develop the pathways to leadership for everyone, but especially underrepresented staff. The best way to hire leaders is to hire from within the company.
In order to make this a possibility, consider certification programs, executive coaching, invitations to executive and board meetings, establishing mentorship programs, and bringing in role models to speak and host Q&A. A big key to inclusive innovation is having diverse teams working together to solve problems.
Diverse teams lead to greater innovation, outperform non-diverse teams, and provide greater financial returns.
Reinforce your inclusive values across teams, ensuring each team values all voices and perspectives.
Diversify each team and hold team leaders accountable to hiring diverse candidates.
Provide professional development training that includes compassion and empathy, understanding and filtering personal biases, and conflict resolution skills.
We've covered a lot in this short video. You can't do everything at once. Now that you have an overview, take time to prioritize based on what you're hearing in your inclusion survey. Then just like any tech project, use agile design thinking methods and try new ideas. Learn from them and iterate.
Now that we've walked through the internal culture, we'll take a look at external programs and physical spaces in the next videos. For more information about Women Tech Makers, Change Catalyst, and additional resources, see the links below.
Share this series with your community and let's work together to create inclusive tech hubs around the world.